the land of the rising sun, a country where cities look like the future, temples are older than recorded memory, and torii gates float in the sea. This is Wonders of Japan. Welcome to Lost Beyond the Map. Japan's crown, a volcano, a shrine, and a silent threat sitting less than 2 hours from Tokyo. This is Mount Fuji. From far away, it looks impossibly perfect, a clean white triangle carved into the sky. But Fuji is a living stratovolcano, built from layers of lava and ash. That smooth cone you see in postcards, it's the result of violent geology, and the engine beneath it is relentless. Fuji sits in one of the most complex tectonic zones on Earth, where massive plates collide beneath Japan. Deep underground, rock melts into magma, and over time it rises. Fuji isn't extinct. It's active, quiet, but active. The last time it proved that was the Hoei eruption in 1707. Fuji didn't just smoke, it exploded, blasting ash high into the atmosphere. That ash drifted all the way to Edo, the city we now call Tokyo. Imagine that today. Airports shut, trains stopped, power disrupted, water contaminated. Not from lava, but from ash. That's the scary truth. Fuji's most dangerous weapon isn't lava. It's fallout. For centuries, people didn't climb Fuji for adventure. They climbed it as a pilgrimage. This wasn't just a peak. It was sacred. Trails became spiritual routes, shrines spread across the foothills, and the mountain turned into a symbol of purity, endurance, and rebirth. That cultural power is so strong, UNESCO protected Fuji as a cultural icon, because it didn't just shape the landscape, it shaped Japan's identity and its art. The world around it is surreal. The Fuji 5 lakes reflect the summit like a mirror at sunrise. Forests grow over ancient lava flows. Lava tube caves hide cold air and ice even when the lowlands are warm. Fuji isn't one location. It's an entire volcanic universe. And if you plan to climb it, the reality is, the season is short, the weather is brutal, and in recent years the rules have tightened because of crowds, with registration systems, time controls, and mandatory fees on some routes. Peaceful, but violent. Sacred, but dangerous. Simple in shape, but endlessly complex in story. Fuji has been silent for over 300 years, but silence doesn't mean sleep. Learning a new language? Meet LingChat, the AI that chats, corrects, and coaches you in real conversations, anytime, anywhere. Personalized, fun, and actually effective. Click the link in the description to get fluent faster with AI. Before Tokyo, before neon, this city was the heart of the country. This is Kyoto. In the year 794, Japan built its imperial capital here, and for over 1,000 years, Kyoto became the place where Japan's ideas of beauty, ritual, and tradition were sharpened into an art form, and you feel it instantly. Walk through Higashiyama at sunrise, stone lanes, wooden houses, incense in the air, then step onto the balcony of Kiyomizu-dera, where the entire city opens beneath you like a painting. Crosstown, and suddenly it's pure shock value. Kinkakuji, the golden pavilion, glowing over a still pond like it shouldn't exist. But Kyoto's real magic isn't one landmark, it's how the whole place is layered. You can spend an hour inside a Zen garden, then 5 minutes later you're in Nishiki Market surrounded by sizzling skewers, pickles, sweets, and the quiet perfection of Kyoto food. Dishes so clean they taste like the season itself. Then there's the moment everyone remembers, Fushimi Inari. Thousands of red torii gates climbing into the forest, one after another, like you're walking through a portal. It's not just beautiful, it feels symbolic, like you're passing from the ordinary world into something older. And Kyoto is still alive in ways people don't expect. That's why the city's tightened rules in some areas, not to kill the magic, but to protect it. Come in July and Kyoto erupts into celebration with Gion Matsuri, one of Japan's greatest festivals, turning the streets into a moving museum of lanterns, music, and towering floats. Kyoto is the perfect contradiction: calm but crowded, ancient but modern, delicate yet enduring. One moment you're under a 1,000-year-old shrine gate. Next, you're swallowed by neon, screens, and one of the fastest rhythms on Earth. This is Tokyo. What most people call Tokyo is actually the 23 special wards, but the Tokyo metropolis stretches far beyond that into quiet western suburbs, mountain towns, and even remote islands out in the Pacific. It's not built around one downtown. It's a living network, multiple centers, each with its own gravity. And Tokyo feels so futuristic for one reason. It's been forced to reinvent itself. Earthquakes, fire, war. Tokyo has rebuilt again and again. But instead of freezing history behind glass, it layered the future on top. That's why you can walk from a lantern-lit street into a canyon of LED billboards in minutes. The rail lines are Tokyo's operating system, and every station becomes a whole new world. Shinjuku is pure vertical power, towering buildings and endless motion. Shibuya is youth, fashion, music, and controlled chaos. Ginza is polished luxury, perfect lines, quiet confidence. Asakusa feels like old Tokyo still breathing. Temples, incense, and warm lantern light. And Odaiba looks like someone dropped a sci-fi city onto the bay with wide-open views and futuristic architecture. Then there's the food. Tokyo doesn't just feed you, it overwhelms you. Ramen shops the size of closets, sushi from conveyor belts, izakayas hidden in narrow alleys, and department store basements that feel like a gourmet theme park. And the mood shifts with the seasons. Spring turns the city soft with cherry blossoms. Summer is humid neon nights and festival energy. Autumn is crisp air and cinematic streets. Winter brings clear skies that make the skyline look sharpened, almost unreal. Tokyo isn't just a destination. It's a living machine where tradition and the future run side by side. Just off Hiroshima, you arrive by ferry and the first thing you see looks impossible. A giant vermilion torii gate standing out in the sea. This is Miyajima. At high tide, it feels like it's floating, like the ocean is holding it up. But wait for low tide, and the illusion flips. The water drains away, and you can actually walk out across the flats and stand beneath it. Same landmark, two completely different worlds. This island is called Shrine Island for a reason. For centuries, it was treated as sacred ground, with Itsukushima Shrine designed to blend architecture, mountain, and shoreline into one living scene. It was shaped into the iconic look people recognize today under Taira no Kiyomori in the 1100s, and it's now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, not just because it's beautiful, but because it's a masterpiece of how Japan connects the spiritual to the landscape. And here's the crazy part. The torii you're staring at is basically freshly revived. It went through a major restoration from 2019 to 2022, which is why the red looks so intense in recent footage. But Miyajima isn't only the shrine. Behind it rises Mount Misen, a sacred mountain with forest trails, temples, and a summit view that turns Hiroshima Bay into a map of islands and light. You can hike up for the full pilgrimage feel, or take the ropeway part way and climb the last stretch. And the food? This island has a holy trinity: oysters, anagomeshi, sweet broiled conger eel over rice, and momiji manju, maple leaf sweets that are basically edible souvenirs. Miyajima is a place where the ocean directs the scene. You let the water decide when the shrine will float and when it will let you come close. Same place, two completely different moods, changed by nothing but time and sea. Less than an hour from Kyoto, you step off the train and it hits you immediately, a place where Japan stops feeling modern and suddenly feels ancient. This is Nara. Japan's first great permanent capital, from 710 to 784, built as a planned city where power, religion, and nature were designed to work together, and you can still feel that blueprint in the air. Then the deer appear, hundreds of them, walking straight through the streets like they own the place, because for centuries they were protected as sacred messengers connected to Kasuga Taisha. They're wild, they're bold, and they turn the whole park into something that feels like myth. Keep walking and the scale escalates fast. You reach Todaiji, and it doesn't look like a temple. It looks like a monument to an entire civilization. Inside is the Great Buddha, a massive bronze figure that makes the room feel small and your voice instinctively drop. This wasn't built to impress tourists. This was state power, carved into wood and metal, meant to protect a nation. But Nara's secret isn't only the buildings. It's the way the landscape is treated as sacred. Follow the path into the forest toward Kasuga Taisha, and suddenly you're moving through corridors of lanterns, thousands donated over time, where the light feels ceremonial, like you're walking through an idea, not just a place. Behind it is the Kasugayama primeval forest, preserved for centuries because it was considered holy. And if you want proof that Nara was a true capital, not just a temple town, there's the Heijo Palace site, wide open grounds where government once ran the country. The city's history isn't hidden, it's mapped out. Time it right and Nara turns cinematic in a way few places can. In March, there's Omizutori, where blazing torches light up the night at Todaiji. In August, lanterns and candles transform the park into a sea of warm firelight. Nara isn't just old Japan. It's the moment Japan became what it is today, where temples, forest, and empire were fused into one sacred world. Japan's merchant metropolis, a city built on trade, rivers, and appetite. This is Osaka. For centuries, Osaka was known as Tenka no Daidokoro, the kitchen of the nation, because this is where Japan's food, goods, and money moved through like a bloodstream. And the local philosophy says it all. Kuidaore, eat until you drop, even if it ruins you. You can still feel that identity in the city's layout. Osaka is a city of water, shaped by canals and rivers, and the nightlife reflects off them like it's part of the architecture. And there are really two Osakas: Kita, up north, Umeda and Osaka Station, clean towers, business energy, rooftop views. Then Minami, down south, Namba and Dotonbori, pure neon chaos, crowded lanes, giant signs, steam rising from street stalls. But Osaka's story goes deeper than the lights. Long before it was Osaka, this area was Naniwa, tied to early national power. Then the city became a symbol of ambition with Osaka Castle, begun in 1583 under Toyotomi Hideyoshi, a fortress built to project authority. And Osaka even helped invent modern finance. In 1730, the Dojima Rice Exchange was officially recognized, turning rice into a market that feels like a blueprint for futures trading. And today, Osaka keeps reinventing itself. Massive bay projects, bold redevelopment, even hosting Expo 2025 on Yumeshima. But let's be honest, Osaka is experienced best through your senses. Takoyaki sizzling on a hot plate, okonomiyaki layered like a meal in a show, kushikatsu dipped once, never twice. Then there's comedy culture that's fast, sharp, and local, and wide modern bay views near Kaiyukan. Osaka isn't a postcard city, it's a pulse, and once you catch its rhythm, everything else feels a little too quiet. A modern waterfront city built on rivers and bridges. Trams glide past cafes. The skyline looks ordinary until you realize what happened here. This is Hiroshima. On August 6, 1945, Hiroshima became the first city in history hit by an atomic bomb. In a single flash, the city's center was erased, and tens of thousands died immediately. Then many more by the end of that year from burns, injuries, and radiation. And yet, Hiroshima didn't rebuild itself as a symbol of revenge. It rebuilt itself as an idea. Walk into Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park, and the city's volume drops. The design guides your eyes along a deliberate line, past memorials, past the cenotaph, toward the most haunting object in the skyline, the A-bomb dome. It's not a replica. It's the remaining structure itself. That's why it became a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a physical reminder of what nuclear war does to a city. Then there's the Peace Memorial Museum, where the story becomes personal. Clothing, objects, photographs. But here's what surprises people. Hiroshima is not frozen in tragedy. Step outside, and it's alive. Quiet gardens like Shukeien still exist, with landscape design dating back centuries. Hiroshima Castle rises again as a reminder that the city had a long identity even before 1945. And right beside the Memorial District, modern viewpoints look out over a place that chose to keep living. And Hiroshima's culture is bold. This is the home of Hiroshima-style okonomiyaki, layered, steaming, finished on a teppan, completely different from Osaka's style. The region is famous for oysters and even for lemons, which show up in drinks, desserts, and street snacks like the city is insisting on brightness. Hiroshima's real power is the contrast. It's a city rebuilt into a message. Remember what happened here, then walk back into the present and understand what peace actually costs. Here, it looks like a fairy tale, but it's not a set. It's a real mountain village that survived because its architecture was designed for one thing: winter. This is Shirakawa-go. Hidden in Japan's Alps region, the main village, Ogamachi, is famous for Gashozukuri farmhouses with steep thatched roofs shaped like praying hands. And that shape isn't aesthetic, it's engineering. These roofs were built to shed heavy snow, and inside, the houses created space for the work that kept families alive, including farming and traditional livelihoods like silkworm raising. That's why Shirakawa-go became a UNESCO World Heritage Site, not just because the houses are beautiful, but because the village layout, the surrounding landscape, and the community systems that maintained these homes survived together as a complete living heritage. The best way to experience it is to treat it like a village, not a photo stop. Walk the lanes slowly, listen for the river, catch the details, wood beams darkened by time, thatch textures, smoke-stained interiors, and then climb to the classic scenic viewpoint overlooking Ogamachi, where the rooftops spread across the valley like a diagram of survival. And don't just look from the outside, go inside a farmhouse. Places like the Gashozukuri Minkeien Open-Air Museum preserve dozens of traditional buildings so you can see the scale of the interiors and how these structures were actually used. If you want the real Shirakawa-go, stay overnight. Day trippers disappear, the village quiets down, and the atmosphere becomes completely different. Lantern light, cold air, and silence in a UNESCO site that's still a neighborhood. Shirakawa-go is simple. A village built to survive the mountains, preserved as a world treasure and still alive today. one of the places where Japan's past isn't behind glass, it's right in front of you. This is what happens when Japan's samurai past collides with ocean air and temple silence. Less than an hour from Tokyo, but it feels like another century. This is Kamakura. Not just a beach town, Kamakura was the birthplace of Japan's first real samurai government. In the late 1100s, Minamoto no Yoritomo set up the Kamakura shogunate here, and Japan entered an era where warriors, not emperors, ran the country. You can still feel that power in the way the city is laid out. Shrines, slopes, and stone paths like the landscape was designed to defend a capital. Kamakura isn't only samurai, it's also one of Japan's great Zen temple cities. Step into places like Kensho-ji, one of the oldest and most important Zen training temples in Japan, and suddenly, the noise drains out of the world. Nearby, Engaku-ji sits close to the forested hills, proving this city wasn't built for spectacle, it was built for discipline. Then comes the moment everyone remembers, the Great Buddha at Kotoku-en. A massive bronze figure from the 1200s, sitting out in the open like it's been waiting for you for centuries. It's calm, it's huge, and it makes you instinctively lower your voice. A few stops away in the Haze area, Hazadera adds the cinematic layer, coastal views, gardens, and a powerful cannon presence that makes the whole hillside feel sacred. And if you want the only in Kamakura scene, there's the cave-like Zenyarai Benten where people wash money in spring water, believing it will multiply. But Kamakura's secret weapon is the aesthetic. Ride the Enadin train as it hugs the coast, frames of houses, crossings, and sea light that look like a movie. And if you want a final twist, follow one of Kamakura's ridge hikes and you'll forget Tokyo is even close. Kamakura is samurai history, Zen silence, and ocean breeze, compressed into one day that feels like you time traveled. Deep in the mountains, where wooden streets, morning mist, and lantern light make everything look like a film set. This is Takayama. Hida Takayama, a castle town in the Japanese Alps region, and the first thing you notice is the texture. Dark timber facades, narrow lanes, paper lanterns. It's the kind of place where the past doesn't feel preserved. It feels lived in. Start early, because Takayama's day begins at the morning markets. Along the Miyagawa River and outside Takayama Jinya, stalls pop up with local produce, pickles, spices, crafts, hands exchanging goods in the cold air, steam rising from street food. It's the perfect real Japan moment before the crowds arrive. Then you walk into the town's hidden power, Takayama Jinya. This isn't a temple or a castle, it's government. In the Edo period, this was the magistrate's office, and it's famous for being the only surviving complex of its kind where the main building remains. You can literally walk through the rooms where the shogunate ran the region, administration, justice, storehouses, proof that Takayama wasn't just scenic, it mattered. From there, the postcard streets take over. The Sanmachi Suji Old Town is lined with traditional shops and wooden lattice houses that look unchanged for centuries. And the food hits immediately: skewers, grills, sweet mitarashi dango, and the town's signature flex, Hida beef. It's one of Japan's most prized Wagyu styles, and in Takayama you'll see it turned into bites you can eat while walking. But Takayama has a second identity: Festival City. Twice a year, spring and autumn, the Takayama Festival transforms the streets with elaborate yatai floats, lanterns, and procession energy so iconic it's recognized by UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage. On festival nights, the town goes from quiet to legendary. Takayama is simple. Wake up with the markets, walk through real Edo history, eat world-class beef on old streets, and realize the most cinematic Japan isn't in the big cities. It's hidden in the mountains. Don't forget to click the link in the description for LingChat and get fluent faster with AI. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and click the video on screen for more.